meeting for January 23rd, 2024. Is there a motion to open tonight's meeting? Trustee Patino, second. Trustee Rosen Asher. All in favor? You should note that one of the trustees, Larry Taylor, is appearing virtually. His location has been properly noticed and is on the agenda. Larry, can you hear us? Not in yet? Okay. So can we please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome. The first item on the agenda is a presentation from, or on behalf of, Hudson Social. So come on up, guys, and just tell us who you are, what your roles are, and do you need the computer at all? And
Yes, I'm going to set that up. Good evening. I'm Jeff Hinsman of PAP Architects. This is
Matt K. Kohler, Hudson Social.
yeah, I saw a picture of one.
And Ron DeRusso from Hudson Social.
So I'm of PAP Architects. Ron and Matt has returned to our firm to study and design improvements to the restaurant. The restaurant is a village-owned property, as I'm sure you know. It was originally built in 1889. Most recent renovation, my knowledge, has been 2015, and created some of the improvements required for the cafe, or the cafe.
Could you speak into the mic, please? A little closer to the mic, thank you.
The improvements for the cafe and bar that was in operation up until August 20, when Ron and Matt took ownership of the restaurant. Those renovations in 2015 included the current layout of the kitchen, toilet facilities, included mechanical improvements, sprinkler system, and electrical upgrades. Prior to Matt and Ron taking ownership of the restaurant, it was primarily a bar and cafe, had limited menu items, mostly reheat and griddle items, and had a vibrant brass bar. With that limited menu, the platings that were all disposable, facilities were very limited. The business vision of current Hudson Social is that of looking to draw a market regionally and locally. And to do so, they're looking to do a destination menu, create an atmosphere where they have professional and loyal staff, and a casual bar atmosphere with select beer, wine, and cocktails. The main impediments to that vision has been the limited size of the kitchen, had inadequate refrigeration and dishwashing facilities to support art utensils and plates and such. In addition to that was the capacity of the toilet room, one of which was not compliant with accessibility. So the main objective of this renovation is to increase toilet count and make them fully accessible, to expand the kitchen facilities, and improve energy efficiency of the mechanical systems. So I will walk you through some of the plans here.
What are we looking at right now?
Okay, I'm going to zoom. So currently what we're looking at, this is the existing layout. This area here is the breakfast coffee bar. This area down here is beer dispensing and cocktail. This is a walk-in cooler in this area here, an existing single-user men's room with a toilet and a urinal, and then a women's room. This area here in white is an existing utility room that is shared with village facilities. This is the electrical service that services the rest of the site, site lighting, and such within the waterfront park. So this area we don't really have use, we don't have access to for use other than additional utilities. This area in here is the existing mechanical room space. It's not an efficient use of space and is in quite disrepair. This area here is the existing kitchen, which we're looking to expand. Upstairs is dining in the front area of the space. There's a large opening to the first floor below, and then there's storage, mechanical systems, and the restaurant office.
Thank you.
Okay. Here we have the proposed renovation. The dining area is not being changed. The seat count remains essentially the same. We are not looking to expand the capacity of seating. What we are looking to do is to incorporate a dishwashing area. This will allow for a full restaurant service. We expanded the hot line for cooking. We created food prep areas and food prep sinks along these areas here. We have the walk-in cooler and refrigeration in this area. Now, to make this enlargement, what was once the mechanical room has now been, will be demolished, and that space will be utilized for an expanded kitchen. Here in the toilet rooms, we were able to get three toilets within the women's room, one of which is fully accessible, as is the lavatories and access to them. In the men's room, it is now a true multi-occupant toilet room with one toilet fixture and 2 urinals. Toilet fixture being fully accessible, as well as the urinals and sink. When we go upstairs,
Okay, I'm sorry, can I ask a question from
yes.
downstairs?
Yes, please do.
The dishwashing area you said, is the, what is currently the, sort of the coffee area in the morning, is that now blocked off, or is that still a service area?
That will be blocked off.
That will be blocked off, okay, so morning coffee will be at the bar? Okay.
Moving to the upstairs, we have, again, the dining area is not changed. We're not looking to change seats. We are looking to organize the storage area to be more efficient. We have some additional refrigeration up here, and we have a new mechanical system utilizing energy efficient equipment, which allows for a smaller footprint for that equipment. In addition to mechanical use up here, on the site, approximately 15 feet from the existing building, there is an existing air conditioner units. Those will be removed, and in the same location would be new heat pump systems to further provide for energy efficient heating and cooling of the space.
So that's just replacing one sort of compressor with another?
Correct, correct. Now, This is a view of the outside. This is the rear of the train station. To accommodate the new mechanical systems and requirements for makeup air of the kitchen, we are looking to remove one of the windows in that bay area and provide a mechanical louver for air intake. Some existing additional fresh air intake will be modified to increase its capacity on the roof. And at the location of the existing AC air handlers, in replacing those, we also come across a floodplain issue. So this new mechanical equipment needs to be raised above the floodplain. The equipment itself is slightly taller, so this would be screened by an 8-foot high fence, and we're proposing a faux hedge type of screening for that area.
So, I'm sorry to interrupt with another question. So currently, if you're standing on the platform and looking at the back of the building, it's essentially storage. There's like, there's pots and pans, there's, like a fryolator that's not in use. Like, does all of that go away in this new configuration?
All goes away.
Thank you.
The other item that we encountered in doing this is that this structure, there's a crawl space underneath this floor, the existing floor. And we have photographs of that for you later on. And that actually creates a deficiency to the sprinkler system. This is a wood structure, and that is an inaccessible space that has exposed wood that's not protected. So there's two options to deal with this infrastructure deficiency, and that's either to enclose that wood structure with gypsum board or to put in a dry sprinkler system down there. This is not work that the restaurant was looking to do, but as we reviewed the codes, we see that this is something that will need to be addressed. So here's a photograph from to the back of the building. This is an existing fresh air intake that will be modified for additional capacity. This is the existing kitchen exhaust. The fan itself will be replaced, but the ductwork will remain.
What's the size of the new intake, which is going to take the place of that gooseneck or somewhere around that same location?
Right, it's going to be the same location, and it's just going to be a larger duct, but
2 by 2,
if-
something like that?
I don't know exactly what this is, but if this is a 10-inch duct, we're talking about a 14-inch duct. It's not.
Yeah, and keep in mind that the reason this presentation is being offered tonight, they have not prepared an application for a building permit, but some of the actions will necessitate, and they've asked for some possible revisions to their lease. As you know, the village owns this building, and the current tenant there is there pursuant to a lease. So they're asking for some revisions to the lease. So this is just a prerequisite for you to understand why they're requesting and the extent to which they're requesting those revisions. They have not applied a building permit yet, so more technical questions can be
Stop. Yeah,
fed.
I got it.
Yeah, that's kind of granular.
Planning board. Okay.
Okay,
please.
yeah, so,
Thank you for the clarification.
yeah.
And if
so-
we could do this in about 10 more minutes,
Yeah.
wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap this up. So right here we have, this is a view of the back windows, one of these which would be replaced with the louver. This is a shot. This wood fence is enclosing the existing AC units. That's a location that would be revised. These are shots of, this is that crawl space I was talking about, the deteriorated plumbing, the exposed wood structure that needs to be addressed. This is the less than efficient mechanical systems that would be replaced, and the area which would be reclaimed for the expanded kitchen. This is a shot of the dining room. There's no change there. This is a view from the second floor down to the bar area, and this is a view to the existing entrance. That's the only other aesthetic change that we'd be making to the exterior of the building, is replacing the solid door, which you can see here, with a full view door to take advantage of the Hudson views. So the proposed alteration endeavors to provide Hudson Social with a kitchen to meet their business objectives, and while also making improvements to a village-owned asset. If there aren't further questions, I'll hand it over to Ron DeRusso, who would like to address other concerns and requests that he would like the board to consider.
Hi, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Okay, so the work we're requesting, I just want to make clear that the work that we're requesting will not increase our ROI or our profitability at all. What we're trying to do is continue to operate as a full-service restaurant, and allow our customers to have, ADA compliant bathrooms, and have a kitchen space that's amenable to working in a full-service restaurant. So that's what we're really trying to accomplish here. It's not about increasing capacity. It's not about having more people there, or more hours. It's really just about presenting a better situation for our staff and for our clients. I think the work is going, I mean, we don't know what the final costs are going to be. We haven't sent this to contractors yet, but we're expecting it to exceed at least $600K at least. We're requesting that all permitting fees are removed by the village, as this is a village property and we're improving a village property. We think the work can be done over the winter of 2024 to 2025. All the plans are in place. They just have not been, the permits haven't been applied for because we're asking to rescind the permitting fees. We're asking that the work that has to do with infrastructure and not with the restaurant possibly be paid for by the village. And we're not asking for a capital expense. We're asking for a rent abatement, and that work includes the fire mitigation system under the floor, which should have been done previously, should have been completed previously. And secondly, the ADA compliant bathrooms. That work would not exceed $150K, and we're asking that potentially that be in the form of a rent abatement over time. We'd like to have, because we're doing all this work and because the ROI is very long in terms of time, we're asking that the village extend our lease for another 10 years at the current 3% escalation, which is in our lease right now. We're also asking that we are able to use the village LDC facility as a loan for the amount that the work will cost. We're hoping that is something the village can help us with. I don't know what the effect is and what lower interest rate we will have, but we think it will help. Lastly, we ask that we are able to close the cafe while this work is performed. We know this is in the winter. We could work with the village in terms of maybe portable restroom facilities or something. And that would be built into the cost. But that's the extent of our asks. I think I sent an executive summary, which you should have in your hands, that explains the background, which Jeff has already eloquently explained for the work. And I'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the presentation. We do have the executive summary, and we do have the PowerPoint presentation. Does any of the trustees have any questions or comments?
When does the lease currently expire?
In 10 years.
10 years from now?
Yeah,
You're-
20
Yes.
years.
It was originally a 20-year lease in 2014.
All right, we appreciate your taking the time to come down and give the presentation. We will review your requests and the situation, and I'm sure we'll talk again and we can move forward as quickly as possible, but we do want to review it, talk about it, and I'm sure we'll have some questions, and we'll go over it with you guys as soon as we finalize our view on this matter. Okay? Thank you.
Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
And we put it back on an agenda because it would require discussion, consensus, and a resolution if you were going to extend the lease, if you were going to permit the closure during construction, and if you were going to waive those fees. But it would be helpful for you to understand the waiver of the fees, the cost associated with that. So
Right.
we can get that from the building department.
Right, so maybe you guys could put that all together, and when you have all the information, we could schedule it for a workshop item or board of trustee meeting, and we can discuss it, and then we'll get back
Yes.
to them with their input, and then we can come up to some kind of a agreement.
Yes, because it appears that they'd need a building permit and a site plan. So let's look at what the fees and the cost of review is really included in your building permit fees, usually a percentage of the total cost. So we'll get that information for you.
Yeah, maybe just Rob, a little background on each of the bullet points would be like what the implication of all those things are, so we can
Yeah, I could add more.
get at all the points during the workshop without, make decisions during the workshop and move to the next stage, so we don't have to.
Right, that's a good point, and I think if you could have the lease for us to review as well.
I think you have it here.
I believe we sent that.
Okay.
But I will elaborate on the points.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Next item on the agenda are appointments. Agenda item number 1 is to consider a resolution of the Board of Trustees of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to appoint Erica Abalon, Alyssa Koshu Rabu, I knew I was going to mess that up, but I'm going to have to say it one more time, so please bear with me, and John Kaufman as the regular members of the Library Board for a term of 3 years, as recommended by the nominating committee. Is there a motion to appoint the aforementioned people as trustees to the, not just because of your name, to the library for a term of 3 years? Trustee Taylor, second, Trustee Rosenasher, all in favor? Passes unanimously. Congratulations. I do want to administer the oath of office to the people, so. John, come on up first. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, to carry out the duties of Library Board Trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability. Congratulations. You want to say something? You can say something or not. It's totally up to you.
No pressure.
Thank you very much.
Come on, thanks.
I'd like to thank my high school drama coach.
The
Listen, come
Academy?
on up.
You didn't thank the Academy.
Congratulations.
God bless.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and to carry out the duties of Library Board Trustee of the Village of Dobbs Ferry to the best of your ability? I do. Congratulations again. You want to say something?
Thank you all, and it's Costa Ruba.
Sounds so simple. Right? Costa Ruba. Great. Is there someone that can take a picture? What happens to all
You want me to fill in?
Yes, take a picture. Come on up.
Oh, we're gonna get in, do our photographic squish.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
first requirement is to stay. You have to stay to the end. I also would like to make the following announcements for appointments. Appointing Cyrus Miandobi as the member of the Ad hoc Downtown Committee is recommended by the nominating committee. I just, again, want to thank all the volunteers for taking their time out of their busy lives to volunteer. That's what makes this village a very special place, when people step up and decide to play a role in the development of the village. So again, we thank them for their time and their energy. We also thank the nominating committee for taking the time to meet and vet and interview these people. So thank you for their efforts as well. Next is a public hearing, which I'm not going to open. Based upon the advice of counsel, we are removing this public hearing from the agenda at this time. We will do, I can say we, our attorney will do some research on this issue and come before us with some other advice on the whole issue. So
A
at this,
redraft, yeah.
a redraft.
Yeah, the local law has been withdrawn.
Right, so we are withdrawing the local law and removing this from the agenda at this time. Next item is courtesy of the floor. Is there anybody, come on up. Tell us who you are. Live.
Luke Mullen, resident of Dobbs Ferry. Since the last meeting on January 9th, I have spoken with the person who is in charge of the Festa Committee, and we are trying to vitalize a plan for the Festa to be at the waterfront for this year ahead. I learned the main purpose of it was to have competition with the other river towns and their downtown areas. The whole point of the Festa is to bring business into the village for the downtown area. However, this year I would like to suggest a change in a spot that we normally would use every year for this event. The spot that I brought up to the head of the committee that was a liked ideal location, and the person even agreed, that the event should take place at the waterfront. This would create an environment for residents of this village to explore. There are also plenty of public restrooms for residents of this village to use. I just wanted to give you an update on the progress I so far managed with the person in charge of the event. This is just like the village had to establish a rain date for the event last year. It would be nice to see a change in the location due to the size and sighting view of the waterfront. I also feel we don't take advantage of the park for events in the community. This is the change I would hope and like to see, and so far I brought up the idea to the chair of the Festa Committee, and the person is it's in the process of thinking about the plan. I'll get back to you when I have further progress on that.
Thank you, Luke. Thanks for taking the lead on this, and we'll look forward to what the recommendations are of the committee. So thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Thanks, Board of Trustees.
Is there anybody online with courtesy on the phone? Okay, so we're going to go into resolutions. We're going to, we are going to table resolution number 1. That issue requires a Vice Labor Council reviewing it. So we're going to table action item number 1. The new action item number 1 will be to consider a resolution to appoint Kevin Farrington as motor equipment operator. In response to that, we did receive, I believe, a memo from Steve Trezza and Jennifer Dorman dated January 18, 2024, saying that with the resignation of someone who had previously been on the DPW, there is an opening for a motor equipment operator, and pursuant to the union contract, it was posted, and Kevin Farrington, who had the high seniority, has applied for the job, and based upon the requirements of the job, he is qualified, and Mr. Trezza recommends that we extend the opportunity to him. So we're going to have a motion. Is there a motion to appoint Kevin Farrington as motor equipment operator effective January 15th, 2024? Trustee Patino, second trustee Sullivan, all in favor. That passes unanimously. Thank you, Steve, for that. Action item number 2 is regarding a amended resolution for the motorcycle purchase. At the outset, I just want to say the motorcycle purchase is not costing the village any money. We are going to lay out the money, but be reimbursed based upon a grant from New York State. So is there a motion to award the bid to purchase 2 2024 Harley-Davidson Electra Glide police motorcycles in the amount of $66,962?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
So we voted on a resolution for this last meeting. What's different about this resolution than the last
They
resolution?
made a mistake in the amount, I think, was that what it
That
was?
was the fiscal year.
The year, right.
Right.
fiscal
Oh,
year.
gosh, okay. So this
Saw
is just
that.
correcting.
It's just,
Correct.
it's a revision. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that somewhere, yeah. Okay, is there a motion? Trustee Patino, the motorcycle man. Second, trustee Rosen Asher. All in favor? That passes unanimously.
And there's a typo. It says interim village administrator. You can strike interim from that resolution.
Thank you.
Action item number 3 is to accept the retirement resignation of Police Sergeant Justin Kemke. Is there a motion to accept the resignation of Police Sergeant Justin Kemke effective January 14, 2024? Trustee Rosenberg, second trustee Galen, all in favor? That passes unanimously. I just want to thank Justin for all his years of service. He was a very valued member of the police department and very active and well-recognized in the community. So thank you for all your efforts and time and energy that you spent on behalf of the village. So we're going to miss you, and good luck in the future. I can't believe he's old enough to retire. Action item number 4 is to consider a resolution to correct the typographical error relating to the starting salary of Court Clerk Tracy Foley. I think there was a slight error in what we had indicated in that first amendment that we voted on last meeting. So is there a resolution to correct a typographical error relating to the starting salary of Court Clerk Tracy Foley? I think the correct amount of the starting salary would be $60,822.04. Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Galen, all in favor. That passes unanimously. Action item number 5 is to consider a resolution approving the audit of claims as submitted and recommended by the village treasurer. This is done every meeting. Jeff, is there anything that we should be aware of?
Nothing unless you have questions. Standard audit.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the audit of claims? Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Taylor, all in favor. That passes unanimously. And I think that's all we have, is that correct?
That's correct.
That's correct, right, Mr. Yamuda?
Yes, Mayor.
Okay, let's do the trustee liaison reports. Trustee Galen.
Totally twisted. The downtown committee is excited for our new member, Cyrus, who was added today, who's already been contributing a tremendous amount, and they had a great meeting last week and discussed a number of items, and they're looking forward to hearing the update on the trash and recycling receptacles, which they proposed, and also the downtown, or the economic development contractor, hopefully getting an update on that soon.
Okay, trustee Rosenberg.
Only that the traffic committee meeting that was scheduled for tomorrow night, for those of you who were planning to attend, has been rescheduled for the following Wednesday, the 31st of January. We look forward to seeing you there.
Trustee Sullivan.
I don't have anything, but the recreation department had the ice skating rink open yesterday and then closed early because of some cracking, but it was nice to have a winter cold enough to actually use it for even one day.
Yeah. Trustee Rosen Asher.
The Human Rights and Diversity Committee is working on, they've created a calendar for the year, so we'll know of things that are coming up. So that's going to be submitted to you, Mayor, to Rob, and to Margaret. They're also working on trying to create next steps for a follow-up to the community survey that they conducted last year. And I will just say a little bit off topic, but for the downtown improvement grant from the county, all of the surveys have been collected, and Dobbs Ferry rocked the house. So Dobbs Ferry had more responses to the survey than 2 or 3 of the other municipalities combined. So I want to thank everybody who took the time. I have been privy to some preliminary information, and it's all looking very good. So the next steps are, now that all the municipalities have been surveyed and the consultants are working on the recommendations, those recommendations will be presented to the county first. And then they will be presented to all the municipalities, and then we will have next steps on how the grant will actually get distributed based on implementation. So it's very exciting, and I just want to thank everybody who pushed the survey, everybody who answered the survey, and I do believe that Dobbs Ferry will be the model for how a program like this should work. So thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Patino, do you have anything?
No, I have nothing.
Trustee Taylor?
Nothing from me this meeting.
Okay,
We did forget something.
okay.
The Youth Services Council is hosting a screening of Anonymous Sister at the Look Theaters tomorrow at 6:30 with the Narcan training to follow. It's a documentary about the opioid crisis.
I do understand, though, that the theater is sold out for this, so which is awesome.
Great.
Okay, before I adjourn the meeting, we did receive a letter from Westchester County Executive Latimer concerning his efforts to try to have the MTA extend the Metro North Hudson line to Penn Station. And we were asked to talk about it, and if we're all in favor of it, to issue a resolution recommending that and hoping that we can get that approved by the MTA. So we didn't have time to actually prepare the resolution for this meeting, but I just want to
did.
talk. You have it?
I prepared it and sent it over to you.
Yeah.
But I thought I got an email from,
Thought it was being pushed to the
yeah, that's
February
what I thought.
February 13th.
I'm happy to add it if we have, do you have it? If I have it,
Is there an urgency, or, I mean,
we have time, so if you have
Right.
it, let's do it
Yes.
now.
It's rare that we wrap things up at 8 or
I did send it over. It's
Yeah.
not in your packet. The one that's in here is the sample.
Right. Let me see. Just as I'm looking for it, does anybody have any objection to recommending that?
No, I think it's a great idea.
A great idea. It's already being done on the other side of the county, and it's something that could, encourage people to take public transportation more. It also helps the attractiveness of the river towns to people looking to move. So it makes us more accessible to more of Manhattan.
We need more public
We have the
transportation.
letter.
I have this. We don't have the, oh, this one we don't.
Why do we ever question
I think it
that?
also mitigates some of the concerns
would've
about
began
the
with
congestion
an N.
pricing that's going to come into effect by making it easier to get into
Nice.
parts of the city that you might otherwise not be able to train.
Oh, we did have this. It was not the one she wanted.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is make a motion that we add this resolution to the current agenda. So is there a motion to add this to the agenda? Trustee Rosen Asher, second. Trustee Galen, all in favor. This passes unanimously, so it's now action item number 6. Let's take a moment just to read it so we're familiar with it. Actually, while everyone's reading it, I'll read it out loud. Whereas the Village of Dobbs Ferry understands the importance of taking actions which will reduce carbon emissions, improve public transportation options, enhance economic opportunity for our residents, and reduce congestion. And whereas the Village of Dobbs Ferry notes that the West Side Access Program promises significant improvements to Westchester County and the board by linking Metro North's New Haven line service with Penn Station on the west side of Manhattan. And whereas similar improvements are being done to improve transportation for Amtrak along Metro North's Hudson Line, which runs through several crucial Hudson River communities within Westchester. And whereas a parallel initiative to connect the Hudson Line to Penn Station could be accomplished, promising reduced carbon emissions, improved public transportation options, enhancing economic opportunity for Hudson River communities and the Bronx, and reducing congestion. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of Trustees hereby recommends that the Metropolitan Transportation Authority undertake a comprehensive study to evaluate the feasibility and potential benefits of establishing West Side access from Westchester County and the Bronx through the Hudson River with the Hudson Line to Penn Station. And be it further resolved that after considerable deliberation, the Board of Trustees also hereby recommends that New York State conduct this study and feasibility assessment, and that the results of it be presented to regional stakeholders and residents. Is there a motion? Trustee Rosen Asher, second trustee Patino, all in favor? That passes unanimously. So thank you. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Laura Lee. Thank you, Mike, for bringing that to my attention. If there's nothing further, is there a motion to adjourn tonight's meeting? Trustee Galen, second trustee Rosenberg, all in favor? Passes unanimously. The meeting is hereby adjourned.